From the dawn of time, philosophers have been asking themselves one question. What is the best power system in anime? So, I, as a philosopher myself, am here to answer that question in the only way I know how. With and maybe we may finally answer this century-old question that many philosophers have failed to do. Also, shout out to Kaminari1406 for making this video possible. Okay, let's start with rounds of 8 match 1. So this is Quirks from MHA versus Stands from JoJo. And as much as I love Quirks from MHA and as well written as Quirks from MHA are, I would say that Stands from JoJo is a better power system than Quirks. Though I do love the way Quirks were implemented in MHA and I believe it's a top tier power system, but it's sad to see that they had to face Stands at round 1. So, going next to round 8 of match 2, we got Magoi from Magi versus Sanpakto from Bleach. Bleach got the Shikai and the Bankai, and Magoi from Magic also has some Shikai and Bankai actions with the Jin transformation. So, from the two, we can both see that the power systems are quite similar. And the stories are also very good, so I'm just gonna pick the better story in Bleach since the power system's a tie, and so Bleach wins this one. And then next we have the round 8 match 3 of One Piece Devil Fruit versus Magic from Black Clover. See, Black Clover Magic, you're great, you're a lovely power system, one of the best power systems in, well, it's no more new gen, but in shonen, alright, because it's no longer a new gen, but it's also not too old, so I'll just say in shonen is one of the best power systems in recent shonen. But the implementation from Yuno and Noel, the way they get power systems just by, oh, I just believe I can do this shit and the power just magically comes. Yeah, it is magic, I guess, but compared to like Devil Fruits and One Piece, even though One Piece also has their own, power friendship type B, but that one is like way better written. Like we're talking about the best anime ever with one of the best power systems ever versus a really good anime with a really good power system. Devil Fruits win. And I love Black Clover, by the way, because it was my best new gen when it was new gen, better than JJK and MHA in my book. Alright, let's go One Piece. Next, we're going to round 8 match 4, and we're going Ignition from Fire Force versus Alchemy Full Metal Alchemist. Alright, see, Alchemy from Full Metal Alchemist is better than Ignition. Ignition is crazy good. I love it. Like, I love fire. It's one of my favorite elements, like practically like my third favorite element. But damn, I feel Alchemy is better in my book. But maybe it's just because like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was like, so much of a better anime than Fire Force. Is maybe why I'm having a bias for its power system. Maybe that's the reason. Adola bursts are good and all, but like I do like myself some Alchemy, I'm not gonna lie. I know this might be divisive or not, but then yeah, I'm gonna pick Full Metal Alchemist for this one. And then next, we're gonna go for round 4, match 1, and Alchemy versus Stands. This is difficult, but not difficult because I gotta give it to Stands, man. Stands is just way more unique and exciting, but Alchemy is also unique and exciting, but like way more unique and exciting versus just unique and exciting. But either way, like yeah, Stands is a better power system in my book. Next, we're going round 4, match 2. So we're going Zanpakuto versus Devil Fruits. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bleach. This is where you clock off because okay, come on. One Piece is a way better anime than Bleach, 10 over 10 anime, but I gotta give it to Zanpakuto, man. Like, see, the story of Bleach is great, but Bleach is heavily carried by its fight and power system, and Bleach is a top tier anime. So that shows how good Zanpakuto, Shikai, and Bankais are. That shows how good they are. Plus, we're not even gonna be adding like the Quincy's abilities and all that. So yeah, the Steren. I see, I can't pronounce it properly, but then you know what I'm talking about, Bleach fans. So.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Bleach. One Piece is a better anime, but this is about power systems here, so I'm gonna give it to Bleach. I know it's ironic because I said that Bleach won because of being the bad anime. Well, the power systems were equal. All right, okay, all right. Bleach wins. So now it's time for the finale. Who would have thought that Zanpakuto versus Stans will be in the finale? And sad for Bleach, I have to give it to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because Stans wins.
Wait! There's more!
That is not the best power system in anime. I just have to say it right there. Nen is the best power system in anime, and it wasn't on the list mainly because it was picking out of 8 random power systems. So I believe that Nen is the best power system in anime, and yeah, it stands as a good number 2, alright, in my book. Either way, that's all I have for today, guys. Bye now.